So God bless you and thank you for joining me. So you are looking at the calendar. You've seen this multiple times. So originally, I wanted to air the video on Palm Saturday because it really was a Saturday. I had the video about the crucifixion on Wednesday because in the year that Jesus was crucified, it was a Wednesday. And then also I had scheduled a video for today to air on the resurrection. So what I'm going to do today and tomorrow is I'm going to do sort of a combo video on the crucifixion and the resurrection, update you on the things that weren't said in the updated video from Wednesday, and kind of give you a little bit more information. So somebody had listened to the video on Wednesday, and she's a lovely woman, and she said the video was fine. What I didn't like about it, and I want to explain, is that I thought it was a bit confusing because, and let me explain why, because we know that Pope Gregory changed the calendar, and we know that most of the world isn't on God's calendar. So at the Council of Nicaea, when they decided when Easter, quote unquote, would be celebrated, it isn't necessarily in the month of Nisan. So sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but it is not this year because technically the month of Nisan and Passover is going to be next month. So in the video, I thought it sounded to me sort of like I was saying that it was the month of Nisan now, if that makes sense. So technically, for the people of Jewish faith who are following God's calendar, their Passover is technically in April. So I didn't want to make it seem like I was saying it was the month of Nisan now, and I thought it kind of sounded like that. So that's why I chose to delete it. It didn't have any views yet on YouTube and only a couple of views on Rumble, so it really wasn't a big deal. And then, of course, I didn't have the opportunity to redo the video like I wanted right away. You know, we all have appointments, etc., and I just couldn't get to it. And I had also talked to somebody about some videos that were airing on particular dates, and so I didn't want to have to move any of that, so it led to a whole bunch of things. But having said all of that, here we are. So I'm going to talk about the crucifixion and the resurrection here in these, in these 2 days. And then also, I think there were some issues with the new video loading on Rumble, but there weren't any issues on YouTube, and that's just kind of the way it all goes. So I'm grateful for the people who would share the truth of me, the truth of scriptures with me, so that I could learn and truly have all of scripture make sense. So when I aired the video on a Saturday, because Palm Sunday wasn't a Sunday, it was a Saturday, and we kind of went through that scripturally. And then I need to give you more information here on Jesus's crucifixion, and then we'll get into the resurrection, and we'll go today as far as we can, and then we'll do part 2 tomorrow. Okay, so in Matthew chapter 12, verse 40, it says this: "For just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the sea monster, so for 3 days and 3 nights the Son of Man will be in the heart of the earth." So it doesn't even make sense. The church isn't even trying to get it right, because Friday night to a Sunday resurrection does not fulfill scripture, and scripture cannot lie. So the church isn't even trying to get it right. So we're going to look at why we know the crucifixion had to be on a Wednesday. And so we're going to go through and we're going to look at all of that. We also know that in Exodus 12:2, it says this: "This month shall mark for you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year for you." So the people of Jewish faith, they have a sacred calendar and a civil calendar, and this is the start of their sacred year. We also know that there are Sabbaths, there are festival Sabbaths, and that the men are required to be in Jerusalem at certain times of the year. And we also know that there are that for God the day begins at sundown, and that when there's Sabbath, there are days of no work, and then there are festival Sabbaths. So what we're going to do starting in the video tomorrow, because we're almost out of time, we're going to look at this a little bit more, and then I will get into the resurrection. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.